Good morning. We often feel like we're alone in these challenges that the universe hands us. And of course, even if we know that we are co-creators and we had a hand in setting ourselves up for lessons, it doesn't make it any easier to go through. It does, however, maybe help to know there are groups of us, or collectives, as they say, experiencing the same things. And if we share with each other, we may be able to help the other people get through a little faster or easier with fewer owies. Now, I have been plopped in a situation that is bringing up tons of fear in categories I thought I had not kicked fear's ass, but tackled a considerable bit of fear in, and it's all coming up again. And so I wanted to ask Spirit why that was. Of course, I'm not the only one going through this. And so if you are someone whose life has recently been very shaken up, and you are in a situation or an environment now that is bringing up a lot of fear that you thought you had already tackled, these messages that are coming up might be for you also. So my question to Spirit is, why the repeat? Why am I in so much fear? I thought I was moving to smoother waters, and now this? It's choppy, man. Let's see what we have to hear. Besides my stuffy nose. You had to lose it all. It's been years, and you've experienced this and that, and you have made significant progress in all these categories with your fear. You don't let it overtake you, and you don't base your decisions on fear all the time like you used to. But you have always feared that you weren't strong enough on your own. You've always feared you didn't have enough, not only materially, but to offer. All of this was to show you just how strong you are, how capable you are, how brave you are, and how independent you are, because silly you bought into it when they told you you needed them. You bought into it when they said you'd be nothing without them. So one thing by one thing, we have taken away what you were relying on that you never even needed. Money. We know how tired you are of struggling. But you needed to see it had nothing to do with buying happiness. You had to have the money go away because you had to see what an unhealthy reliance you had on it. You had been literally spending on people so they would love you, so they would stay with you. You had been using money to buy things to fill that void. The void never got filled, did it? And when you quit spending money on the people, almost all of them bailed. You are still working on your concept of money just being energy, but you didn't end up on the streets without it, did you? And we know that was a fear of yours. What you did end up doing was admitting how many people were no longer there for you when the money wasn't either. And let's talk about those other people. You thought you were nothing without them. But then you were without them. And not only did you discover that you were not nothing, but that you were pretty special. when you realized you didn't need to lean on anybody to accomplish things in your life, you sat up a little taller. You saw how capable you were, and you sat up a little taller yet. We have shown you things so that you could see into yourself, and we know you hate that everything you need is within you phrase. But it is true. You didn't need any of the external things you thought you did. Yes, you have lost a lot in your life, but you've also gained so much about yourself that you never would have without these trials. Love, let's talk about love. You had one idea of what it was and then realized just how unhealed you were. You thought someone else would make all the difference. You thought you needed someone to be there for you, to be happy, to be complete, to be okay in the eyes of society, because society does think we need to be paired and that there's something wrong with us if we are by ourselves. But you learned what you thought was love was not. And then you learned what love is. And it started with you. And that made all the difference in the world, because now you see the difference between needing somebody and wanting somebody. Now you know the difference between a requirement and a supplement. And all that injustice we put in your way, you didn't win, but you did fight. Yes, we showed you life is not always fair, and you knew that. But we also showed you that you had the capability of being your own advocate when you came up against injustice. Whether you won or not, you felt satisfaction in fighting for yourself. You didn't need anyone else to fight for you, did you? You did it on your own. Do you see now? All of these things were meant to help you see. You don't have to be an island, but you also don't have to have a ton of people on the island with you. You can do whatever you need to do. You are strong. You are capable. You are brave. You are powerful. And we know you're still working on that one. But we're just bringing you to the place you can get going on this work that has been intended for you all along. We know it's been painful. We know it's been hard. But we're proud of you. Please take the time to understand you need to be proud of yourself also. And for you specifically, landing in a neighborhood that reminds you of the one you lived in when you were raped so many decades ago. You had to be here to face the fear that has always been just under the surface that it would happen again. You're in a iffy neighborhood, but we've told you over and over, you are safe. Trust. You are safe. Fear is not anything exclusive. Everyone encounters it, but you have worked hard to face it. You don't run like you used to, and you know that you can take it on